Hey friends, I'm Lauren Leavell, and we're going to talk about planks. Planks are always a little bit controversial because a lot of people have bad experience with planking, and I totally get it because there's not always a lot of explanation, and it's something that people are assumed to be able to do, and that is just not the case. Just like any exercise, plank needs practice, but you can't practice if you can't get into an accessible variation. So this video is going to take you through a few of my favorite variations. This is not an end-all be-all list. There are plenty of other ways you can do planks, and we'll go over more of those in the future, but this is just a good baseline. This is more of a demo tutorial video. You can absolutely follow along doing this, and if you want to, you're either going to bring a chair or something that's a lifted surface, be near a wall, and then of course have a mat on the floor. A great place to start if planks on the floor are intimidating, you're not sure you're going to be able to hold a plank, we want to start building a good foundation, and you can do that from a wall. So walls typically are pretty sturdy. It's nice. You can bring your hands out straight. I'm going to demo just a standing high plank. So arms out. You can do a forearm plank from the wall. It's really not a big deal, but I have this here to back my body up away from the wall, so I'm getting that full length. So you want to come here, hands come out from your shoulders, shoulders relax down your back, put your hands onto the wall, adjust as needed, and then start walking back here. So you want to start walking back. Maybe you lower your hands a little bit, shoulders roll down your back. Time and time again, I have to keep people from drooping because that dumps into your low back. So we don't want our bellies to droop towards the wall. We also don't want to be back here because this is a nice little stretch, but this isn't the plank that we're looking for. So you want to hold your body in a plank, not bowed, not pressed back here, up on your toes. If you need to, you can step your feet open wider, hips stay even, shoulders roll away from your ears. You hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then you release down and press up. It's a great way to start feeling into the moves here with your arms long and getting that engagement through your body. Another variation that may be more available to folks if you're moving from the wall towards the floor is using something like a chair or something that is sturdy enough for you to put your weight on, but you're up a little bit higher. So I'm going to demo with this chair here. We're going to start with the high plank. You're going to bring your hands down to the chair like you would bring them to the floor. Make sure the chair isn't going to move. This is not the sturdiest chair. So we'll see how this goes, but I'm used to doing this. Hands come here underneath your shoulders. So your shoulders are stacked on top of your wrists. If you have a different shaped chair, obviously your hands are going to go in different places. Mine are to the outside edges because that's pretty much shoulder length. Shoulders roll down your back, or shoulder width, I guess. Shoulders roll down your back, and you're going to step it back here and hold in your plank. The important thing here is, once again, you want to be on your toes, heels lifted, and activating your legs. So this isn't really falling apart. You're not overly tucking here. Your spine is long, shoulders down to your hips, hips down to your heels. Hold and breathe, chin off your chest. 3, 2, 1, and then you're going to walk it back up. Sticking with the chair variation here, we're going to come to forearms. Again, we're bringing that down to wherever on the chair it feels comfortable. We're trying to go for shoulder width here apart, but if that's not possible, or if you want to clasp your hands, that's totally fine. Not against the rules. We're going to bring it down similarly to how we did with the hands, and then walk our feet back. Once again, we're not dropping down here. We want to lift up and away. Hips stay even. You're on your toes. Legs are active. Shoulders roll down your back. Chin off your chest. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You do not want to hold your breath through planks. Not going to be fun. I think typically when people think about a plank, they think about doing it from the floor, which is absolutely the most common example we see of a plank, but it's not the only variation. We've gone through a couple variations already, and now we're going to bring it to the floor. We're going to start with a high plank tabletop. So let me show you how we get into this. Bringing your hands down under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. You may be like, Lauren, this looks like a regular tabletop. I look like I'm about to do a cat-cow. That's right. this can be a foundational point in your plank because we want to get some of the moves down. So can you spread your fingers wide? Can you roll your elbows back and soften them slightly? A lot of times we see people here, and this is just putting a lot of pressure where we don't want it. We want everything zipped up towards the middle. So elbows swiveling back slightly and then softening so we're not locking out. Great place to be. Here's my belly kind of relaxed. I'm letting my hips relax, my low back here. Inhaling and exhaling, I want to pick everything up. So I'm tucking my hips under slightly so they come more in line with my shoulders. Right here, I feel activation in my core. I feel my core wrapping around. I'm thinking about the front and back of my body coming together, not apart. So I don't want these pieces coming apart. I want them squishing together. I call it sandwich cookie, but sandwiching your belly button and your spine together so all of that can hold you up. So we're here in our little sandwich cookie, long spine, top of the head forward, tailbone back, hold and breathe. This can be a great place to start a plank from. Knees down. Yes, we are building that foundation. If you want to, you can take your knees back and get more of that plank angle going on, dropping your toes down, chin off your chest, again, adjusting the shoulders. Breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Those are 2 great variations of a high plank with your knees down, okay? We're gonna come into a regular, or what's considered like a regular high plank. Most of the time you see this version demonstrated. Again, we've done a lot of variations here. All planks are working towards the same goal of integrating and engaging our core. So as long as your variation is engaging your core, it's good for me. But let's go into that traditional high plank. Hands come under your shoulders. Again, we're gonna adjust so the elbows go out and back, or back slightly, not out. So back slightly here, shoulders roll down your back, chin off your chest, top of your head forward, tailbone back. You can step one foot back, and then the other foot back. If you need to step open wider, you can. A lot of times people get up here. That's a lot of pressure for your shoulders. We want to bring it down, and we want everything working together, pressing through your heels, legs activated, front and back of the body, sandwich cooking here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently bring it down. That's kind of what it's gonna look like. It's gonna look a little bit different on everybody's body, but we want shoulders kind of in line with the hips. We don't want booty in the air, and we don't want the saggy back. Bringing it into our forearm planks, again, similar variations here. We're gonna start with forearm planks, knees down, okay? We can get more into that tabletop like we started with the high plank. So forearm plank, shoulders roll down your back, and then you walk your knees back here. Your hips are gonna be a little higher because you're already lower. But one thing to remember in your forearm plank is you don't want your chest collapsing through and your shoulder blades coming together. You wanna press up and out so that your back and shoulders are being activated and you're not letting everything drop down. Again, chin is not on your chest. You're not letting your neck go like this, but you're also not being nosy and looking forward. You got this. You're coming to neutral spine. This can be great, and you can roll forward a little bit or walk your knees back and drop your toes, even out your hips. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it up. We're gonna do our very last plank, which is a regular, knees lifted off the floor, forearm plank. I love a forearm plank because my hand compared to my forearm is a lot different surface area, okay? I love having this much surface area supporting me as opposed to this much. All the planks we have done have different amounts of surface area, which is why there are variations and modifications, but we're coming all the way down to one of my faves. So we're gonna bring it down. You can get into this however you wanna get into it. Maybe I'm gonna kick up into it. This happens a lot. Again, this is a great stretch. You can take the stretch and then roll it forward. Hips come more in line. You're gonna tuck your hips under again. Sandwich cookie, collect your belly up from the floor, collect your booty from in the air and bring them together. Press through your heels, hold. Top of your head forward, no looking forward here. We're not being nosy. I'm looking side to side, but that's because I'm recording. Lift up out of your shoulders, hold 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down. So there you have it, a bunch of different variations for plank. I want to remind you that doing things in a different way and adding variations to your workouts are good for you no matter what level of fitness you consider yourself at, because it adds to our toolbox. It is never a bad idea to have more ways to do an exercise. Hope this was helpful. If you have questions, let me know. Talk to you later.